Let's take a look at this game. This is ESL ONE Mobile Open Phase 2. Today is February the 13th for all these guys. And this is the second round of Phase 2. So next week is gonna actually be the Phase 3. So the playoffs. And these guys are gonna need to collect as many points as they can so they can head into Phase 3. So these games are extremely important for all these guys. And we can look at the board here. We have like PoutyPanda is like rank 20. We got a few rank 400s, 500s, some guys who haven't played much on ladder. And right now, currently, Martini is one of the point leaders in this event. So we're going to be looking out for him quite a bit. And it looks like he's going straight into Scrappies. Right now, it's like a sort of like a Scrappy Fiesta. Every game pretty much. Every like Scrappies is like the highest chance you have to win a game. Whether you low roll or high roll, when you low roll you still have a decent placement, and when you high roll you're just essentially unbeatable. Most of the ladder games end up with Scrappy versus Scrappy matchups, and sometimes there's even like 4 or 5 people in Scrappies and it doesn't even matter. One of the players is going to end up high rolling or getting the units that they need, and they're gonna win regardless of that. So if you're just a better player, you're gonna end up getting like that 1 or 2 more placements higher than somebody else, and that should still be good enough. So we're really looking forward to seeing if there's anyone playing any other builds apart from Scappies. There are some potentially good builds, like for example Knights could be really good. There's some Savage Rollock builds that could be possible. It's kind of hard to play these healer builds in these situations just because of Eno. Eno can reduce your healing by quite a lot. So we won't be seeing probably a whole lot of those. There's some brawny builds that tend to do really well in these situations as well. And as you can see, we've already picked up like 4 Scrappy boards, and they're all at the top already. Even the early rounds, they're winning just because of insects doing really good for them. It looks like Nexus and PoutyPanda are pretty much the only ones that might not be going into Scrappies here in this game. So let's take a look at some of the early round items we got here. There's just some regular stuff, chainmails, gloves. There's no contracts on anybody in this game pretty much. I think it's because Legion Commander has sort of fallen out of favor a little bit these days, especially with Eno and Scrappies being such high value. In the late game, Scrappies with Medusa kind of give Legion Commander a lot of trouble, and if you're taking an Essex and you're not getting Eno, so your mid game can be a little bit too weak, even though an Essex is actually really good going into the late game, but just not as strong as Eno is during the mid game, where you can lose a lot of HP. So pretty much most of the boards we see are mirror matchups. Abnecide here actually deciding to not, or he has some Scrappies on the bench, so he's probably gonna just curve into it. He's just playing some Venomancer, Shadow Shamans in the earlier rounds that can help him win some rounds here and there, which is really good for him. As you can see, every player kind of like just has a few of them on the bench and sees if they can hit them or not. It looks like Frolic has some mages, which is pretty nice. Like in these situations, you can't really blame any of these players for going Scrappies because they're all like wanting to win and have good placement because they want to get to the next stage, obviously. And it's just the most optimal thing to do, even though you are being contested in the build. There's just too many variations and things that you can play into them that can potentially make them work early game and mid game. And the late game just kind of plays itself out depending on who's going to hit Medusa and Gyrocopter and try to stabilize with those units. Hey, Definite. Oh, yeah, that is true. Frolic, are you not on mobile? You're on your tablet? Okay. So Nexus here actually going for assassins. He's got the Quap 2. Yeah, he's got 2 Quap 2 stars on round 7, which is incredible at this stage in the game. I mean, he didn't level up either. He's just trying to save some gold, and now he's hit his Ember Spirit. At this stage, like having 2 Quap 2s like this means you're gonna probably hit your 3-star Queen of Pain by like round 15. He's like on pace to hit 3-star Quap by like round 15 potentially, especially if they all keep staying in the pool. So that could be really interesting for Nexus to like try and do that. One of the weaknesses to Scrappies is there are some 3-star builds that can like really, you know, crush them during the mid game, especially if you get it pretty early. So Quap 3-star could be one of those really good units that could be played and have a good matchup against the Scrappies going into the late game. So PoutyPanda here is the other board who has some knights. He also has a Tinker on the bench, the Bounty Hunter with the Midas to get some kills because it does a lot of really good single target damage as well.
We are ready for what is about to come.
So that's gonna be really like as of right now, PoutyPanda is just looking through his shop and seeing like what kind of build that he can build into here, since he doesn't really have like a super strong direction in the game. He could take Venomancer, he can maybe even play some Savages if you like to. It's really unfortunate for him that he's not winning early rounds, even though he has some really powerful Druids available to him as well. He's got a CK pair now. Gonna take the reroll, see what's up. Looks like he found another troll, so he can play that if you would like to. So the currently Martini win streaking. He's got an Axe to Timber 2, very strong early game board. Actually went to level 6 very quickly in this game. It seems like he would like to really apply that pressure and take a big command over the game. It's not often you see players hit level 6 on round 9, but with his win streak, he's got plenty of gold to be able to do that. And everybody he's fighting is just taking a ton of damage at the moment. That's actually the bot that he fought against, so he's very sad that he didn't fight another human player there. So let's look at Chris here. Chris got Scrapples. Also, he's picked Jewel. Questionable decision. I think might have been an accident. Normally, you just see people taking Eno, but I think Jewel is actually not that bad. Like, it makes all your units very tanky as long as you have a lot of DPSers who can survive the rounds before the happy hour comes out, or the fights before the happy hour comes out. Then they could definitely do something. He can definitely do something with that. But it seems like he did misclick, according to Rain here, who's in chat. He says he did misclick, so unfortunate for him. Martini here, it looks like his win streak might be coming to an end. Oh no, not quite yet. He's fine. Oh, just depends on the stun. The stun does not land. Oh, and he dodges, and he's gonna get the win streak to 7 already. SwiftPanther almost beating him there. SwiftPanther has a Sniper 2-star and a TB 2-star. That's a really powerful early game opening. He's gonna take a cloak here, that's for sure. It's one of the greatest items at this stage in the game. He can easily put that cloak on his Terrorblade later. It's gonna make him extremely tanky while still being able to do a lot of damage. I'm really surprised that Panther actually didn't beat Martini's board, considering the power level that Panther's at. So Frolic got Blink Dagger, Bounty, also a cloak for himself. He's got a Razor on the board. He's got some Mages on the bench. But I'm not entirely sure if Mages is like the most optimal build for him to go into when he's got a build like this so far. But mages are considered a counter to scrappies, but they're most likely not going to be able to counter all the scrappies, because at some point one of them is going to get to the late game and hit that Deadeye that really does a lot of harm to the mage boards in the late game. And mages can also build into Sven if they need to build some scaled or Slark with the Medusa, since they already have one scaled for themselves. So Nexus here with the double clops has found another Queen of Pain now. So that's seven Queen of Pains, and he also has 7 Nyx Assassins, and there's the 8th Nyx Assassin. Is he gonna finish the 3-star Nyx on the next pack? Let's take a look. Takes a reroll, nothing there. He's got 15 pretty much. Oh, he's actually taking rolls. He found another Queen of Pain. So Nexus, not deciding to level to 6 yet, wants to hit the 3 stars instead. Has found another Queen of Pain for himself, which is really, really good. Now he's one off Nyx and Quap. So if he loses a round here, I'm sure he wouldn't mind, but obviously your health is extremely valuable. So he's got to make a decision. He's going to level up or is he going to roll? And he decides to actually level up here. So next turn he's going to have 26 gold, 27 since he won the round. And on top of that, he's going to be able to find... If he's going to be able to find his 3-star, he's going to be in an amazing spot after this. Now leveling up allows him to also be able to hit his Slark easier. So he's going to get his 6 assassins out faster. And 6 assassins is like pretty much what you want to have when you're playing with 3-star assassins here. At this moment in time, Nexus is an amazing spot. Like the assassins are really calling for him. Having two of your assassins on 8, like 8 out of 9 to get your 3-star is, at this stage in the game, is kind of insane. And the thing is, he didn't even roll that much, right? The assassins kind of just showed up for him in this game. And Frolic here, looks like he actually completed a Tinker 2-star. That's so great for him. It's really actually a good unit in mages too, if he ever does decide to throw in that last mage unit. I wonder for Frolic if it's better if he just played mages instead of the insects, right? Because at this position in the game, he's got a Razor 2, he's got a Tinker 2 that does magic damage, Bounty, Coddle obviously, and if he puts a Crystal Maiden over the Nyx, he's gonna have human synergy. And then that's going to give a lot of mana. So Nexus actually, oh my goodness, he completed both the Quap and the Nyx in the same pack. He got them both in the same pack. He didn't even use the reroll. He didn't even need to use the reroll. He just got them both in the same pack. And he got a Slark? Oh, he did get a Slark. So Nexus' plan here is just go straight to 7, throw in the 6 assassins, take out the Brood. To be honest, at this point, it might be even better to just take out the insects and just throw the 6 assassins in, right? Because the assassin bonus is just insane at this stage. You have two 3-stars. You just want the level 2 assassin bonus. The insects at this point is not going to be doing like as much as obviously what 6 assassins do with this. And he's probably going to want to put the Midas also on the Queen of Pain so that she gets like all the kills, and that's going to help him achieve a lot of gold. Because that Quap is 100% lasting like everything at this point in the game. Wow, the Bounty Hunter. 2-star Bounty Hunter stealing all the kills too this fight. But probably just some lucky situations there. If he doesn't put the Ember instead of the Snapfire, that's kind of weird, right? Oh, okay. So he actually just shoved all his gold, went to 7. But now he's got like extra 15 gold there. I think that was a misclick on his end. He was probably like trying to like push all his levels last second, but then he pushed a little bit too much. So he got an extra 15 gold in there that he probably didn't mean to do. But yeah, having the, if he's gonna do that, having the Broodmother over the Snapfire is kind of awkward, because the web would be really nice for him. So who, SwiftPanther beating him here. That sniper was kind of strong, and this TB has 18 kills already, so he's becoming a monster as well with the Stonehawk Cloak. He's gonna be doing really, really good. How to be a good player 101, get your 3 stars with no rolls, rerolls. Yeah. Sometimes it sometimes just happens. So Martini at 85 health has gone to level 8 already. It's very early to go to level 8. But he's happy with that because he's gonna be able to put in all his scrappy units. This axe with his Vanguard and scrappy bonus is so tanky that it won't even matter against most boards. Unfortunately for Martini, he did meet the SwiftPanther's Terrorblade Sniper 2-star board. And this one is probably the strongest, because even SwiftPanther's board was able to beat Nexus 3-star Assassin board as well, which was very strong. And he actually found a Battle Fury on round 15. So his Ember Spirit, once it gets 2-starred, is going to have Battle Fury. That's going to be really nice as well. That's going to be another threat coming out here for Nexus, which is really good. PoutyPanda has gone into the Knights. We saw that he had a few scrappies early in the game. He had a Bounty Hunter, but he's decided that Knights will probably do better. The problem for PoutyPanda is when you're playing Knights, it's really bad to be, you know, at the bottom 4 at this stage in the game. Round 17 is when Knights should be peaking, and when he's gonna wanna have very high health going into a late game, so he can actually spend some time to hit some 3 stars or get to level 9 and get his entire Knight comp online. But it seems like around 17 he's still trying to finish some of his 2 stars, and he's starting to fall behind very, very quickly here. The C-Kid not being 2-star is like a really big deal. That's like pretty much the best 2-star Knight in the early game to do your damage. So without him being 2-star, it's really, really rough for PoutyPanda here. So Chris, the one who misclicked the Jewel, it seems like he's doing alright. He's got some barricades for a Sniper 2-star. Like, for the scrappies, most players who have Sniper 2-star are generally going to do pretty good as long as they position well. And as we can see, these 3 guys all have it. And then the one person who doesn't have it is obviously all the way down here. Frolic, on the other hand, is playing the Mage Scrappy build. So for him, the Sniper is not that important right now. And the human synergy with the CM Kato, Tinker 2-star, this is probably the most important unit for him since he's got some mages online. It's really, really cool. I'm digging Frolic. Maybe his build is not super good in the late game, but he might be able to just secure himself like top 2 or top 3 if he just goes down this path a little while longer, since there's so many scrappy players anyway. So let's take a look at this matchup. It's mages, scrappies versus knights. This time around, it seems like the knights should have an easier matchup against mage scrappies, I think, since they have some more healing. But it looks like that Coddle is just gonna do so much damage there with the blast, and nope, not even a chance. And PoutyPanda gonna continue bleeding out here. SwiftPanther on a huge win streak, gonna do 4 damage to Chris, and he's on 7 now. He's doing amazingly well, it seems like. Got a Maelstrom now. That's a really good item on Weaver. It has very fast attack speed, and with the Hunter bonus, it's really cool. If you guys play Dota, it's like Geminate attack when Weaver hits with Hunter bonus. So Martini, who was like pretty much the first one to level 8, it seems like he's gonna start saving up some gold to go to 9 as well. He's gonna want to find that Medusa Gyrocopter ASAP. And he has a Bloodseeker 2-star on the bench. I wonder if it's worth playing it just for the Deadeye since he has a Midas anyway. And the Sniper can like secure all these kills with the Deadeye. And that can like net him some more gold. One of the reasons why he's able to level like this and not suffer too much is because of his Midas on his Sniper, who pretty much secures a lot of kills with Assassinate. And getting a gold here and there, it's really, really helpful. Oh, I heard a... Ooh, Medusa. Amazing. So it's gonna get Medusa into this board. That's gonna give Hunters super strong upgrade for Martini here. Also trying to find a Timber 3-star potentially later in the game. It looks like Martini is just gonna wait like 2 more turns and then go to 9 here. It's not gonna force it super fast because it's gonna be 8 then 9 and then at the end of that turn he'll do it. So here comes the Assassin board. The Dusa is super helpful against the Assassins, but it does not live long enough to be able to complete the Stone Gaze there. But late game, the 2-star Dusa is exactly what you need to be able to beat Assassin boards. And it looks like Nexus is doing it. He's not on a win streak though, which is kind of surprising considering he got the 3 stars kind of early. But he is very, very powerful. We gotta understand that he's only got 2 3-stars and 1 2-star bounty. He's got none of his other units really paired up that's important, like the Viper or the Ember, which is really sad for him because he obviously, if he has like those guys 2-starred, there's just no way that he's not win streaking everything around. And PoutyPanda still bleeding out. Does find a Troll Warlord, but I'm not entirely sure how much that's gonna help him. These items are really not helping him either. So it's gonna go with a pipe here, just for the mages probably, and the Scrappies also do some magic damage. It's gonna go with the Necro 2-star in the shop. So PoutyPanda, the brave soldier who tried to not play Scrapples and didn't high roll anything, so he's really suffering from all of that. Abnecide does have a Lycan 2 with Sanking, but his potential is not looking too hot either right now. He's just trying to hope that he can get to the next turn and then the next turn, then level up to 9, and hopefully the chances on hitting his ace units will just save him in this situation. He's the one guy who doesn't have the Sniper 2-star, who really needs a Sniper 2-star, and is suffering quite a bit from that. But it does look like the Sanking is helping him quite a bit against the Jewel board. But the Jewel, like, Chris is just losing because he has pretty much Jewel and he doesn't have Anno in his Scrappy build. But yeah, Abnecide does have the fact that he's got an Anno going for him compared to Chris. Chris is just... He's got a good sniper, and it's kind of tanky with the 27 kills, but with the Jewel, it's not looking too hot. I'd probably recommend for Chris to just move his Alchemist up like 1 square so that the Jewel doesn't just primary tank here. It's like super good to let someone else tank when you're playing with Jewel and just keep it alive as long as you can. So Frolic still holding first place with this Mage Scrappy build, which is really interesting. I think it's just a really powerful mid-game board, pretty much. Like how we said, in the late game, I think it's gonna fall off quite a bit, the mages with the Scrappies, but for now in the mid-game, it's really helpful for him to secure some rounds. It's gonna be a very interesting but messy game just because of 1, the Scrappy mages, and 2, the Assassin player. It's like the Assassin player being a bit too strong, and then the other mages like kind of just winning rounds that normally wouldn't be won by a 5th Scrappy player here. So it looks like Nexus is actually at 34 health, which is not something you would want to be at if you're Nexus with a board like that. Oh, it actually kind of makes a bit of sense that he did go for an Essex, so it's kind of weak in the mid game. It's much stronger going into a late game. But like typically you play Eno or you play Jewel in Assassins because you either need the tank or you need like the disable / the heals or whatever from Eno. But with an Essex, it's like more of a much greedier all in on like glass cannon build on this Queen of Pain here. Obviously it can benefit the Quap quite a bit because it'll give the Quap an extra 50% pure damage because of the demon from the NSX. But the problem is if you don't have the frontline 2-stars like Alchemist, Dragon Knight to like tank for you, sometimes your assassins just tend to die too fast before they can kill the opponent. But it does look like now that Nexus is level 9 and starting to put in multiple units, is becoming much easier for him to be able to execute that. I'd probably put the Snapfire also in the front line here just so that you have another tank. You make sure there's another tank who also tanks for you. The Snapfire damage is like non-existent in comparison to like your assassins all living longer for that duration of time, and like getting more hits off because you got only 1-star frontline and these guys are gonna die super fast, so you might as well just put the Snapfire in there too, who's very tanky at the same time. Yeah, it looks like PoutyPanda actually won a round against Martini. Martini here falling to 39 health. Does have the 2 aces though. Like Martini's power spikes are bigger than everybody else's, right? All he really needs is to like hit some upgrades or some pairs or whatever. He's actually going for Sven as well so that he can get scaled into the board ASAP. I wonder if he will prioritize the Sven 2-star over the Sanking here, since Sanking is actually just 1-star and Sven obviously adding scaled against the mages is really nice. And it looks like he's gonna fight into the mage board right now while he has a Sven 2-star in his shop. So if he loses this round, he's gonna really not like that one bit. But it looks like the Kato died instantly thanks to the Deadeye. The Deadeye is super good against the Kato, since it's not 2-starred yet. And it looks like Martini is gonna be completely fine against Frolic's, where Frolic actually going to level 10. Wow. That is a very, very fast level up to 10 here. Oh, maybe not. It looks like Frolic is gonna win anyway. Take a look at the damage here. Tinker with the mages did so much damage. Weaver did a bunch of damage too with the Shikuchis. Not something you see every day for sure. This is a very interesting build with the mages and the scrappies. I'm digging it. And finally, Frolic gonna find his sniper and put it in, and that's gonna be his 6th scrappy with 3 mages. And there's another sniper in the shop now. I wonder if it's time for him to take some rolls here. If you look at his board, all he's got is like 4 2-stars, right? So he's got 6 1-stars and he went to level 10. That's like really crazy because he's kind of all in on these mages and this Tinker just doing all the damage for him. So that's why it's kind of impressive. Like he's still managing to win rounds, although he's pretty much spent like 80% of his game just leveling. Yeah, Eulus, you're right. Snapfire with dragons is charging faster if it's put in the front line. And if you give it Aeon Disc as well, it's also not gonna die and while casting the ultimate. So here it is, Frolic gonna take 15 damage. He is kind of weak at the moment without much upgrades. SwiftPanther, we can take a look at his board too. He's at 39 health, he's in 2nd place currently. Did beat the top 1 board. And he's got Alchemist 2-star, Brute 2-star. This board by SwiftPanther is absolutely insane. He's on 9. He's trying to get those TBs as well if possible. And there goes Chris dying in 7th place to PoutyPanda. Wow, PoutyPanda making that comeback with his knights here to take someone else out. They were both contesting for 7th because they were very weak. Especially since Chris took Jill there. And it looks like PoutyPanda is going to find himself a Vlad's. That's insane. Vlad's is like the #1 item for knights. It's so amazing. They have damage reduction already, so you add another 5 armor to that. Then you get like the lifesteal. and a little bit of extra damage, so it keeps all your knights alive longer and all your other units also at the same time. So that's really good for PoutyPanda in terms of the item that he took. It looks like Martini is also going to level 10 here. And here it is. It's the assassins versus the knights. And it looks like that the co-op, wow, it's just gonna one-shot that Omni Knight. And the CK is dead too. The co-op is still alive in the fight. And it looks like PoutyPanda also has a Vladimir's aura because of the Omni. Because the Omni died there with the Vlads. And then that Vlads actually helped Nexus win that fight. If it wasn't for that Vlads, I don't think the Queen of Pain was gonna live, and PoutyPanda might have actually won. So putting the Vlads on the Omni there and getting it stolen by the Enthrall really hurt PoutyPanda in that situation, and it's gonna knock him out in 6th place. So he did better than he thought. He was probably thinking he was gonna get 7th, but Chris with the Jewel kind of suffered in the end. And there's a Faceless Void now in the shop for Nexus too. He's almost got a 2-star Void. He's coming online rather well. It does have a Dragon Knight he can replace the Snapfire with. That gives damage reduction as well, which is really good for your assassins. But as of right now, he doesn't have an Alk 2-star, Brute 2-star. He's got so many pairs as well. It could be interesting for Nexus to just kind of roll and like find his upgrades. We'll see if he decides to level here or just try to like hit some of his upgrades here instead, because it will take him 40 gold to level, which is quite a hefty amount. And it looks like he is rolling. He actually found his Faceless Void 2-star. Still only has an Alk 1 and a Brood 1 though, but 2-star Faceless Void definitely going to be doing a lot of damage. Doesn't have the most amazing item for him, but it'll do. Void is probably the most, like, in my opinion, his spell is good, but his damage itself is actually very underrated. If you take a look at his DPS, it's really high. Yeah. So Martini here, who went to level 10, threw in the Sven with a butterfly now. Now that's a Sven with a butterfly and scrappy bonus. So it's very tanky Sven. Doesn't have a Gyro 2 or a Dusa 2 yet though. Is sitting on 18 health, so he's pretty much got like 2 rounds about, whereas like these guys probably have like 3 rounds. So we'll see how the fight goes here. Martini is really looking forward to winning this round here, just to give him some more breathing room to maybe hit this Dusa 2-star. Isn't SK better than Brood? Yes, it is better than Brood. But you cannot play units that you don't get. So. And it looks like Martini is gonna win here. It was actually a ghost he fought into, but Nexus is gonna take out Abnecide. At this point, it just feels like Nexus is the raid boss, who's just taking out players one by one. Those 2 big 2-stars around 13 is like really doing him a lot at the moment. Frolic, like we said, is gonna fall off into the late game, but because he had such high health in the mid game, it's gonna help him out quite a bit. He does have a Lich 2-star though now, which could be really interesting. I'm really surprised that he sold his CM instead of the Razor, because the CM was the one that was giving human synergy and giving mana to the Kato too, right? And the rest of the team obviously. But selling it, okay, and here it is, the big raid boss Nexus has arrived, but the Queen of Pain did not jump. So the Queen of Pain not in an optimal position to kill the Kato at all, and it looks like the assassins are gonna die here. Oh, the Kato getting yielded up into the air, did not get hit by the Kato blast. Sorry, the Queen of Pain getting yielded up. And the Stolen Sanking doing a lot of work too here in this fight. Nice stun onto the Weaver before he dies, and that's gonna deal quite a bit of damage to Frolic, since that's 2 3-stars and a Sanking 2 as well. Martini gonna take 4 damage against SwiftPanther. So it looks like SwiftPanther and Martini and Frolic are fighting for 3rd place here. Gyrocopter found in the shop. He's gonna take out the clockwork for that, and that's gonna drop his 6 scrappy bonus, but it is gonna give him a gyrocopter with mage bonus. That's gonna be kind of helpful. Also puts in a Dusa, so he goes down to 4 scrappies, finds nothing else important there. So it's gonna be Frolic versus Martini. This is the perfect fight probably for Martini, because Martini played for the Sven scaled, and this is exactly who Martini wants to fight into, so he actually has a chance of even getting 2nd place potentially, if one of these 2 guys would get chunked big time here. And there it is, the Eno goes out, kills off the Kato, the Gyrocopter 2-star and Alchemist still alive in the backline, and this might just be my Frolic falling here. He's not gonna have much health. And there he goes. And Martini gonna get 3rd minimum. Frolic falling in 4th here. Nexus actually losing to SwiftPanther's board. SwiftPanther does have the Dusa with the Black King bar. Probably had a really epic stun going out there. Let's see what item is gonna get here. He's doing really good for himself. He actually decides to take the Shivas, so probably for the assassin player. And Martini gonna go with Bloodthorn, and Nexus has a choice of Vesture or Refresher. Okay, he's gonna go with Refresher. Wow. I wonder if he wants to put Refresher on the Void, because it actually gives him attack speed. When you cast Chrono Cube, you get 75 attack speed on your Face's Void, and that's pretty much a DPS item, pretty much. So if he casts 2 of those, that's gonna be really nice. So Martini, Nexus. Let's take a look at SwiftPanther. He's actually fighting a Ghost, and Nexus is gonna straight up fight up into Martini. This is actually the perfect matchup for Martini. I don't think he wanted to fight SwiftPanther at all. So let's see how the Assassin RNG goes here. And the Void gonna catch the backline. The double Chronos really working out for him, and the Snipers and the Deuce are dying way too fast there. Martini is gonna fall. Now, does he have enough health to survive this? He most definitely does. At 14, I believe. And Nexus gonna go to 10 here, and woo, 1 HP. Martini still alive. Does he have any power spikes? Does Martini have any power spikes here? He's already got the Dusa 2, he's got the Gyro 2. Now, what he's got to do is just position a bit better, right? At this point in the game. That's the only thing that he can play for, since he already pretty much lost the last fight with his upgrades. And now, Nexus going to 10. Gonna be getting another unit onto the board. He's gonna actually keep the Snapfire in this situation. So let's look at Martini. He's actually fighting into SwiftPanther's board. And there goes the Shivas. It's actually going to charge the mana of all of Martini's board, but it's not going to be enough. They're not attacking fast enough. The Sven very slow to get his ult off actually. The Dusa ult does come off. Oh wow, what a combo. The Sven and the Dusa doing so much damage in this fight, and the Gyrocopter ulti also nailing all of SwiftPanther's units. And it looks like Martini's gonna live. Or unless this Eno gets an epic stun off here. The 2 versus 1 fight with the scrappy bonus not gonna be enough. And it looks like Nexus also lost to SwiftPanther. So it's a very interesting situation happening now, right? Where I think the reason why Martini was able to win this fight was because of the Shivas hitting too many units and giving too much mana there. And also SwiftPanther, yeah. Now the question is, how will Nexus position against this? Because he's got 2 opponents who have many DPS units in the front. Does he decide to put the Faceless Void in the front to try and chrono them? Or he's just gonna let them jump and kill just based off RNG. So now we got SwiftPanther and Nexus fighting against each other here. The Queen of Pain going into the backline with the Black King Bar does so much damage, man. It's such an amazing item on Queen of Pain here. And there goes the Enthrall onto the Terrorblade, but the Terrorblade, is he dying fast enough? And he will die pretty fast. And with that TB, he doesn't have a lot of HP with his cloak though, but it looks like it's gonna be enough for him to win it. He does not steal any HP, but does a shit ton of damage. Gonna take out that Underlord, and he's gonna win. And Martini also beating Nexus. So Martini having that 1 HP comeback potentially here. That's 2 different players that Martini just beat with 1 health. And this positioning definitely helps him quite a bit. "51 kills, Terrorblade. It's not 3-star though, unfortunately, for SwiftPanther here. It's a very tight matchup. Oh, second row faces Void. That's very interesting. That is very interesting indeed. And that faces Void gonna jump into that Tinker, and here comes the Chronosphere. It does not hit the Sniper and the Gyro though, and most of Nexus' units are already dead. It looks like it looks like Martini got this. Martini making that comeback here, solid. I think if Nexus put the Faceless Void right in front of his range units, or his Sven right here, it would have been a much better situation. But wasted a lot of time with the Void jumping around in random places. And SwiftPanther beating Nexus board as well is 17-1. SwiftPanther might have 2 turns potentially, but probably not. So let's take a look at these gold and what's happening. Yeah, Nexus was level 10 with the Snapfire on the board, so that kind of didn't help him either. SwiftPanther gonna save some gold. It doesn't really look like he can find much. He's just looking for more Terrorblades, pretty much to 3-star. And here it is. Big ulti coming out from SwiftPanther's Medusa. And it looks like this time around, SwiftPanther will be taking out Martini. Unless this Gyrocopter, with that extra scrappy bonus, isn't enough. It does not look like it is. And that Dusa, big Stone Gaze, easy peasy. And Martini gonna get himself 2nd place. So going from almost 4th all the way to 2nd, that's a big deal. Living with 1 HP against that assassin board that previous turn. Well played. And SwiftPanther gonna take this lobby. That early game Terrorblade Sniper 2 stars doing so much work for him in this game. Scrappy.